You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk 1150 AM. Now, back to the show with local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell.
You are listening to the Money Hour at 1150 AM KKNW this Saturday, May 21st show. You can also listen to my show podcast, Facebook premiere, or you can catch my show on my show YouTube channel. In addition, for more on my upcoming events, please go to tinamitchellevents.com. I am your host and local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell. I bring into studio each week the best of the best experts in our local market on everything regarding your money. And now in studio, Dan Edwards, Keller William Everett. Grow where you are watered. If you are not being watered, it might be time for a change. Right here on 1150 AM KKNW. Dan, welcome back into studio.
Tina, it is so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And first time that I've had you on my virtual show because you were always going in person into studio.
Yes, I was actually about to hop in my car and drive down, and then I said, oh, there's a Zoom link here. Okay.
That is awesome. When you said you dress for in person, but we are in person. We're just not in person, but we're seeing in person on the video for sure.
Meaning I have pants on.
Oh,
like normally it would
hilarious.
be this anyways, but because we're going to be in person, I put pants on.
Oh my gosh, I'm over here blushing, Dan. All right, so let's get back in. Let's get into business here. So it has been a while since I've had you on the show. So go ahead and give us an update on what's happening with you.
Well, yeah, Tina, as we talked in the panelists, in addition to running a high-performing team there on the Eastside, serving Bellevue, Kirkland, Redmond, Issaquah, Sammamish, Kent, Covington, North Bend, all of those areas, I also stepped into a leadership role, which is one of my passions that I have discovered, giving back and seeking to help coach and consult with agents up out of the North End. So the office is located in Everett. It's a Keller Williams office. And that new position is something that has really allowed me to grow even more, which is kind of the topic of our conversation here today.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Dan, on the new role. What an honor to be chosen to represent a group of agents and helping them grow so that they can have a better quality of life and be able to help more people in their community. So let's get this out of the way. Where do you personally see our market heading?
Well, Tina, first off, thank you for your Money Hour talk, because that's really insightful for me because, essentially we're right now talking sellers off the ledge. They're starting to freak out quite a bit because they've had it good for so long that they keep hearing these stories of multiple offers, hundreds of thousands of dollars above asking price. And literally in the last 3 weeks, we've seen that change quite a bit. And folks on the East Side, actually one really telling number, Tina, that maybe you haven't seen before, but across King County in April, we saw about a 4% reduction year over year of inventory across King County, 4%. Now that number doesn't seem significant until you go back to the last time it was below or above. That's kind of a weird way to put it, but typically we were seeing anywhere from 18 to 20 to 30% below the previous month year over year. So it actually slowed down to only 4%, which is still interesting. But here's the big significant thing that happened is on the East Side, inventory was up 30%. So that is almost a 60% swing from where it was hanging out for the last, I want to say 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
Month over month, year over year, reduction of inventory. This was kind of a significant thing. And so when I saw that number, I went, oh, I see. So think about it from a standpoint of, you're cruising along, you're adding inventory, and suddenly a bunch of inventory shows up. Well, before we had 7, 8, 9 offers or buyers for one particular house. Well, now you only have 3. So the leverage that the sellers have starts to evaporate. But when you bring seller 3 offers, when their neighbor just last week had 10, somehow you look like not a great of a real estate agent. But one of the things that they don't understand is the people that offered last week, well, one of them's gone, right? Yeah. And there was multiple houses, one of them's gone. So in a month, when you actually increase your inventory by 30%, it has that effect. And the interest rates, and I think what you said there was really telling, is it scared a lot of people.
Yes.
They press the pause button on their home search. They're thinking, oh no, what's happening here? And I think you're absolutely right too, is that then it's going to kind of get back to it. And the reason why is we are still at 0.7 months of inventory. So where I see it heading is it's going to require more of a professional approach to explaining what's happening. And so if you don't talk to somebody like Tina, if you don't dig into the numbers, you're going to look like a really bad agent.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what the show is all about. When I started the show 11 years ago, was to create a space that I could bring the best of the best experts into studio that could share with our local market and to have all of the resources, because absolutely in any market, you need to work with an expert. But when there's an adjustment in a market, which then is looked at as a challenge, there is always an opportunity in a challenged market. Only the experts are going to know how to help you navigate and to really win in that what majority are seeing as challenged. So what can home buyers do in the market that we're in right now?
So we got maybe a 2 or 3 week window, maybe longer, of opportunity, that if they look at the bigger picture, right? The bigger picture is interest rates are going to fluctuate. They're going to go up and down. They're going to fluctuate. But having a home is going to be your hedge against inflation. It's going to be a hedge against increase in rates. So if you have a level headed and you're thinking, I want my kids in this school district, or I want to be able to have my commute time to this, buyers can take advantage of that burst of inventory and that pullback by other buyers. We just did this last week with one of my clients. There was nothing. Suddenly it was like, well, do we ask full asking price or do we escalate? I'm like, full asking price. Let's just keep it right there. We don't offer them anymore. So it was really cool because of that pop of inventory, they didn't have to bid and they got a home that they liked. So take advantage of this opportunity, buyers. If you're qualified, get after it.
Absolutely. The hidden opportunity is going to be a missed opportunity if you don't take action right now, for sure. So let's go ahead and put your seller hat on, Dan. What should sellers be doing right now in this?
Well, first off, get out of the fetal position. It's not the end of the world. However, I would say, I've always, when I work with sellers, the point is for your home to be compelling. I want you to have every reason to have everybody love your home. So we always pre-inspect properties, and we will continue to do that in this environment, because what you want to be as a seller is the belle of the ball. You want to be the best house on the block with the nicest everything that you possibly can. And more so as we head into a changing market. When you have competition, it's going to matter that you replace the carpet on this house. When you have competition, it's going to matter if you use high resolution pictures. I got to tell you, one of my clients took advantage of a listing because the listing agent used their iPhone to take pictures, and it didn't look great, but the house in person was great, but it wasn't drawing people. So sellers, you got to be compelling in this market and be prepared to wait 30 days, because that's actually a little bit more of a realistic marketing time as we head into this change.
And, we're not in a balanced market. There's nothing to say that there's anything coming that we are going to be in a balanced market. We're still going to stay in a seller's market. It's just not the crazy of what we were in, which it's hard sometimes for sellers to hear, and even on the buyer side, that what's best for all of us and our economy is to really be in a balanced market.
Yes.
But I don't know how what we're going to see that's going to get us in a balanced market. But anyways,
and
so,
Tina, let me tell this one quick story. Is
of course,
on one of our listings, we had a buyer that came in on Friday that was ready to go. They loved it, and there was no review offer on this property. And it was like, look, let's go. Let's get it. Full asking price, waive inspection, move forward. They thought about it. On Sunday, they finally said, okay, we'll write the offer. Somebody swooped in, paid above asking, and it was a done deal. And they lost out on an opportunity because they just were too uncertain. And it's not about being reckless. It's about having that confidence that you said. We haven't changed to a buyer's market. We are not close to a buyer's market. It's just the change that maybe confuses folks. So.
Yes. Yeah. So Dan, what can agents do to position themselves to take advantage of this opportunity instead of getting stuck in what the challenge side of it might look like for them?
One of the best things about this business are the people. One of the most challenging things about this business are the people.
Yeah.
So you need to be skilled at working with folks and learning about their motivations and helping them accomplish that even though they have reservations. And it's not a sales job. It's a consultation. Is you said that you wanted to be in this school district. This matches everything that you're looking for. What's keeping you from it? So becoming really proficient at that, I think, is something that is going to be required for any agent to perform at a high level. So definitely do that. And then growth. Like, if you're not finding the type of growth that you need where you're at, you've got to seek out that opportunity. If you're not growing yourself, this change in market may cause you to think about whether or not you want to consider staying in real estate. And I think the key to that is really being learning based.
Yeah. And, great advice, Dan, because you talked about on the leader side for your real estate agents and really finding out their learning skills, how they best learn, and also finding out why they do what they do. And the same thing for you as a real estate agent with your clients. Why do your clients need your product and or your service? And being able to bring in and dig deep into what that true why is, so that you can bring that story. And when you're communicating on them, this is the benefit if you take action, and here's the risk if you do not. And also, as an expert in the real estate space, the great news is you have numbers, you have stats, you have the data. Bring out that data in every conversation, because numbers don't lie. And when you can show the numbers and the why behind what's happening and where the benefit is on this, then it really helps for your clients. And I always say that if we're not great in our dialogue, we're being a disservice to the people that we're here to help, that need our product and or our service. So it's really our responsibility to make the difference that we want in our community, to be able to have our dialogue at the highest level through our expertise in helping them make the decision that they need to make to get to where they want in their life. So Dan, your topic is grow where you're watered. What does that mean with real estate?
I guess the way to set this up properly is to kind of go back to the reason why I decided to take over the role of what we call team leader here in the Everett office. And, right now, I'm talking to a lot of brand new agents, people that are considering getting into the real estate career. And I'm also talking to seasoned agents that have been at the same office that they've been for years and years and years. And the one thing that the thread that runs through both in the conversations is really, what is my next step in life? And I don't know if you have one of those friends where you ask them, hey, what's up? And they're like, nothing.
Yeah.
And you have nothing to talk about, right? And I think for me, anybody asked me that question, I'm kind of going through my brain. I said, well, the last time I saw him was this. And so here's something that's up. Yeah. And I think that maybe I don't really gravitate towards people where that conversation ends at nothing, because then how do you become your best, not just for yourself, but for those that rely on you, right? Yes. So whether you're a family person, or you have a loved one that you're caring for or in relationship with, or even looking to give back in the community, we owe it to them to be at our best every single day. So what is growing where you watered? My transition came because I had hit a spot in my career where I kind of had achieved this level of success, and I was really happy with it. It was fantastic, but I wanted more, and I needed to find a place where I could do that. Now, one of the things about the Everett office is it is associated with Ben Kinney and Ben Kinney's world, right? And yes. If you don't know, those watching don't know, or listening don't know, Ben Kinney is a very successful real estate agent that parlayed his success in real estate to actually do great things. He gives back to the community, but he owns 8 offices across the Puget Sound. So finding a space like that for me was about taking myself and planting myself in a bigger pot so that I could grow. And I think for me, I'm excited to talk to agents, whether they're brand new, existing, or retiring agents, and find out, how can we find a place for you to take that next step? And that's what my job now as the leader here is, to identify folks that are looking for growth and helping them along that path.
Yeah. So if you're listening to the show and you've been in the real estate space and you don't see where growth is going to happen, call the show. Need to get you connected with Dan so you can have that conversation. And if you're a buyer or seller looking at buying or selling real estate, call the show, because you need to connect with Dan and his team. Congratulations again, Dan, on all of the great things that you're doing for real estate agents and their businesses, and also for our buyers and sellers in the market.
My pleasure.